All right, let's work together to create a couple of looks. And I'm going to try to step you through a couple of the steps, and then I'm going to talk to you like a designer might talk to you. So follow me, follow my steps, follow my clicks and keystrokes. We're going to create three cues. The first one is a blackout, and you might ask, why create a blackout when I can just go to cue 0? Well, that would be because a blackout isn't always actually a blackout. So if you're in a theater and you want to go to a blackout, you might still want some backstage lights for the actors, or you might want some safety lights for the audience. So it's not actually a blackout. There are still some channels always on. So I always like to create a blackout cue to hold a blackout that can also have some channels up. On key number 2, we're going to create a cool look. In key number 3, we're going to create a warm look. So if I had some lights on already, so something like this, and I say, all right, let's create a blackout look. There are a couple ways we could do that. Number 1 would just to go 1 through 9 out, and that would just get rid of everything. Or I could always hit back until we sneak until we get to cue 0. All kinds of different ways to do the same thing. Either way, we should see nothing in our visualization. Once we're happy with the look, we can hit record, 1, enter. Now let's create a cool look. So I might say, let's start with the top light. Let's give it a good little moon from the top. So that would be channel 5. So I'd say take channel 5 at full. You would say 5 at full, enter. And we might say, give it a light blue. So you could come over with 5 still selected and say, blue, blue. And I might say, let's go a little bit thicker, more saturated. There we go. That's kind of cool aqua fun blue. We'll offset it with a couple of other fixtures in a little bit. And I would say, oh, okay, let's flesh out those shadows. Why don't you take 1 at 50? So 1 at 50, 50%. Good. And I would say that's a little bit too white, obviously, so let's give it a deep, deep blue. And that looks good. And then I might say, what does it look like if that's a little bit more bright? So you could come back and say plus, plus, plus. And I would say, whoa, stop, come back. Now you can go minus, minus, minus. And say, there you go, that's pretty good. Now let's flesh out the other with a lav. So take channel 3 at full. So we would take 3 at full, enter. And of course, for a second there, we don't really like anything because it just washed out the color. But we'll come back to moving light controls and change it to a lav. And we might say, give me bluer, bluer, bluer. And then say, nope, actually redder, redder, redder. Oops, we've gone too pink, come back. All right, we like that right there. And now I might say, let's give something from the back. So why don't you bring up 8? 8 at full. And that gives it a nice little halo around the back. And I say, oh, let's cool that off a little bit. There we go, into that blue realm. And I might say, what if you bring that down a little bit? So we bring it down and say, never mind, bring it back to full, at full. And we say, that's good, let's keep it. Record that as 2. So we would hit record, 2, enter. Good. Now let's try it with a warm look. So let's get rid of everything again. So this time I'm going to say 1 through 9 out. And I would say, let's start with something from steep left. So let's say 4 at full. 4 at full, enter. Make it red. Go towards orange. 2 orange, go back to red. There we go, I like that. Now let's take 6 at full. Good. Let's go into the pinks. 2 pink, go towards red. There we go, oh, come back. All right, it might be a little bit too bright. Take it down a little bit. Too much, back up. All right, keep it there. Actually, why don't you go 75? Good. Now let's fill that in from the front a little bit with a deep red. So that'd be 2. Ooh, just washing everything out. Why don't you bring that to 20? Bring it up a little bit. Good. And now let's give something from the backs. So let's do 7 and 9. And let's make it orange. Good. Let's maybe make 7 yellow. And those are too bright, so why don't we do 7 and 9? Let's bring them to half. A little bit more. What happens if you take them out completely? Never mind. Let's bring it back to 40. Yeah, we like that. Why don't you record that as 3? Good. Now let's play back. So we go back to 0 by hitting back, back, back. If we hit play into 1, we've got a blackout. Play into 2. We've got a cool look. And play into 3. We've got a warm look. All right. Once you're finished with that, once you hit save, and just so I know that you did it correctly, once you hand that in by going to your documents, etc, EOS, show archive, and your most recent one is the one that you should hand in.